Good afternoon. Next up, we have Ultra Resources with Executive Director Andy Smith, CFO Kiki Smith, and VPX Afzaal Pirzada. Ultra is a junior lithium explorer focusing on its Ontario pegmatites assets, as well as multiple brine assets in Catamarca, Argentina. It has very strong Chinese investment and support. And with that, Kiki and Andy, please take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the Ultra Resources presentation, developing high-value lithium and gold projects in Canada, Argentina, and the United States. I'm Andrew Smith, the Executive Director, and I'll provide a brief introduction, and followed by Kiki giving some of the market perspective, and Afzaal, our VP Exploration, will be running through the projects. The reason that we're reaching out to audiences at the moment is we feel that Ultra Resources has been preparing for this moment for a few years, with the intent of developing a strong portfolio of projects. The president and CEO, Wego Langs, who unfortunately can't join us this year, set out to establish a portfolio of assets within the lithium space in classic lithium environments. That work has been successful. And over the past couple of years, we've been going through the exercises of verification, exploration targeting, early stage exploration to advance these projects to the point where we are now. The point where we believe the next few years for Ultra Resources will be all about creating value and moving these projects forward through advanced exploration. The company has a strong track record of project acquisition, and expect that the next few years will see us moving into bulk testing and resource development, which will underwrite the value of the companies in the market. We have the right team. As I mentioned, Dr. Lang is the person who's headed up this company, a founder, someone who I've worked with over the last 20 years. Wego has a unique skill set in that he is a Chinese national, but has received a PhD in economics from the University of British Columbia. He's fluently bilingual and is very well established in the Chinese resource sector, the Chinese investment sector, because of his knowledge how to work in both worlds, if I can use that expression. And bridge Chinese investors into North American opportunities. Myself, I'm a geologist, 30 years experience working internationally in gold and base metal exploration and mining operations. Kiki is a CPA, a BA in economics, our chief financial officer, and Afzaal Pirzada is our VP exploration. Again, someone with a skill set that's ideally suited for lithium exploration, with his background and experience not only in hard rock but also in brine lithium deposits. In addition to the right team, we feel that we have the right projects in the right areas. The Georgia Lake and Progrin Lake lithium pegmatites in Northern Ontario are well-established lithium geology close to Lakehead at Thunder Bay. We have 3 brine lithium licenses in the high-grade brine lithium triangle in Argentina. Some claims in the Big Smoky Valley in Nevada, adjacent to one of the only brine lithium operations in the United States. And we also have 16 mining exploration licenses in historic gold mining camps in Argentina as well. This is the array of assets that we believe will be advanced to create value for the company over the next few years. Kiki?
All right, so timing-wise, we think we're in the market at the right time. There's certainly a growing demand for lithium-ion batteries, which creates unique business opportunities for us. There have been supply constraints, most recently with some of the Australian producers maxing out on their supply. demand continuing to increase, and political instability in certain areas, which have caused some issues with supply. So having a positive push on the price, which is very beneficial for lithium explorers and producers. So we think we're in this at the right time, and it's beneficial for us, and there's significant value opportunity there. This is a sampling of our peer group, example of companies that are in similar, have similar types of assets, both hard rock and brine properties. And as you look at these and compare their assets to ours and what our assets bring to the table, you can tell that we're significantly undervalued, and there's a real value add opportunity there with us. At the bottom of the list here is Rocktech Lithium. They're the closest to production. They are our neighbors in the Georgia Lake, Forgan Lake area, and are a good example of how we can progress forward over the next few years. Our share structure, as of right now, we have 107 million shares outstanding, 5.6 million options outstanding, exercisable from between 10 and 20 cents over the next 2 to 4 years. And we have 6 million warrants outstanding, exercisable at 20 cents over the next year. And so fully diluted, we would be at 119 million shares outstanding, currently trading at about 22 to 24 cents. And we're listed on the TSXV, OTCQB, and also the Frankfurt Exchange. And this slide gives us a sense of the current shareholders of the company. We do have a strong Chinese base at the moment. Mr. Lang himself owns 11% of our issued and outstanding shares. Our chairman, Mr. Chow, owns 27%, and 2 independent groups also in China, the Zhang Group owns 20%, and Beijing Explorers, which is the most recent investor group that has joined us, owns 8%. The Chinese groups are independent of each other. They're in different areas of the country and don't actually even know each other. So it's a big country. So it's good to know that they're individual groups that are, they're not one big block, they're 3 separate blocks. The remaining shareholders, we can consider that the retail group, but it also includes myself, Afzaal, Andrew, friends, family, close business associates, etc., part of that 34% retail group. So we have had strong support from China, which is Chinese investors, which are a very sophisticated group of both lithium producers and consumers, and that shows confidence in the company. And our objectives going forward is to increase our North American audience and show this opportunity to North American investors and expand our North American participation. And we think this is a really excellent opportunity for North American investors. And so moving on from there, Afzaal can take over and give us a little description of our key properties.
Thank you, Kiki. As mentioned by Andy, that Ultra Resources has a diversified portfolio of lithium assets, which can meet different end users in the market space, including hard rock pegmatites in northwestern Ontario. And I will start with these Georgia Lake and Forgan Lake pegmatites. So these are Ultra's claim block is in close to other companies who are working on Georgia Lake pegmatites, and it's a historically developed field where in 1950s a lot of drilling and exploration was happening when lithium was hot due to its use as rocket fuel. And these projects, they are spodumene bearing pegmatites, which are having sediments and granite, and spodumene is the main mineral. Ultralithium has about 8 lithium pegmatites on its own claim block, and Forgan Lake claim block has an additional 6 pegmatites. The company initiated exploration work in 2016, took some ground samples, and those ground samples, they showed that spodumene is the main mineral, and lithium grades are in the range of 1 to 2% in the mineralized samples, with other rare metals like tantalum, niobium, beryllium, and rubidium, which can add value to these pegmatites other than lithium. Next. Our next stage of exploration was to doing stripping and trenching and channel sampling and short drill holes to see the near surface continuity of these pegmatites. And it showed that the lithium grades are same, like close to 1%, and widths are 1 to 5 meters. This is confirmed from 2017 trenching and channel sampling work. Next. The project is very well located. It is close to highway, electricity, and infrastructure, close to deep water port. Thunder Bay port is there, and the First Nation community is very supportive. They want to work with us, and there are 3 First Nations communities which are helping not only Ultra Resources but other juniors working in the area to bring these projects into next stage of exploration. Next. Forgan Lake, we added these and optioned it from International Lithium, because these Forgan Lake pegmatites, they are the highest grade known pegmatites in Georgia Lake area, and they can benefit us, Ultra Resources. So historical results showed that there was 3,000 meters drilling in 39 drill holes during 1950s. And then channel samplings, they showed lithium grades over 2% in over 6 meters in different areas. And these are very promising pegmatites. Next. Our brine lithium assets, now I will go to that. And the brine lithium assets are in Catamarca province, where many other companies are working, and Argentina is a good jurisdiction to have a brine resource. And our we acquired this Laguna Verde asset comprised of 3 licenses, and we did some exploration from 2016 to onwards. Next. Laguna Verde is a new discovery with a high lithium values on surface, with low magnesium to lithium ratio, and which gives this project an advantage in the area. Next. Ultra Resources carried out ground geophysical survey, which showed that potential brine zone can be continue as deep as 225 meters within a 23 square kilometer area, which can have a potential resource. Next one. Ultra Resources carried out a bench scale test work, which showed that lithium can be concentrated through natural evaporation up to 20 times. And we got up to 7,370 ppm lithium values. Next. This is our plan. Georgia Lake, we will be doing drilling, exploration, bulk sampling, and the resource estimation. For Laguna Verde, Geophysical survey is completed, bench scale evaporation test is completed, drilling and resource estimation, and further pilot scale evaporation tests will be completed. Big Smoky plan, Ultra Resources has its own geophysical survey data which will be reinterpreted and to establish more drill targets. Ultra also has some gold assets in Argentina, which we are doing exploration on those assets. Thank you.
All right, so that's the end of our presentation. And if Joel's ready, we can move on to any Q&A questions that are coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for taking the time to present here today. Just going back to the Forgan Lake assets, and maybe this is more of a question for Afzaal, but open to anyone. Some of the drilling there did demonstrate some pretty impressive intercepts. What's kind of the plan of attack there? Because that could be quite sensational, just given where it is and the high grade associated to it. Do you have a good handle on the geology at this time? And what's kind of the plan specifically for Forgan Lake?
Yes, Forgan Lake, we are very excited about this Forgan Lake area, as there are multiple pegmatites which are high grade and which are continuous. I would say that up to 700 to 800 meters, and the widths are over 6 to 7 meters. And the exploration, we will carry out some ground exploration in 2021 this year. Like we have already started some work with the community and applied for permits to do 2000 meter drilling and some surface trenching, channel sampling to define some resource. We have also applied for a bulk sample permit to see its metallurgy, that it is feasible. We saw spodumene on ground, and spodumene is considered as it can generate a good concentrate. So if everything goes all right, we want to convert these these exploration licenses into mining leases. That is our plan for the next year, because these are high grade, which can go into production in the long term.
Absolutely, yeah, and you touched on the bulk sample, and that's a very exciting prospect. And I understand you guys are, you've submitted the application to do so. Maybe just walk us through that specific plan. As imagine, that's a lot of material that you have to work with. If that's going to lend itself to maybe some qualification samples, potentially getting some offtakes interested, etc. So maybe just walk us through the plans for the bulk sample.
Yes, there are some offshore interested parties who want to see that our samples are of the quality which can meet the industry demand in the Asian market, and we shipped a small sample, and then they were satisfied with its quality, very small sample. Now we are sending them a big sample and another larger samples if the interest continues. This is, and Ultra Resources, they are planning to build a plant in Thunder Bay and in Germany. So if that goes according to plans, then all these pegmatites can go into one big plant that will save us shipping cost also.
Okay, great. I think we're just out of time here, guys. So again, really appreciate you presenting here today.